Welcome to the eCommerce QueenBOSS podcast by So Here On Air, where you get every week clarity with your marketing strategy and alignment to build a thriving online business. Your host, So Here, is an expert in experience marketing and consumer psychology. She worked with clients ranging from startups to multi-million-dollar online businesses. The eCommerce QueenBOSS podcast is for the woman on a mission to build her own empire. And it's starting in 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello, and welcome to the eCommerce QueenBOSS podcast. Today, I am going to talk to you about influencers marketing because it's such a fascinating topic. In this episode, I will really deep dive into the topic. I will break down the 4 steps of working with influencers, but before I will start with some industry facts and the why of working with influencers. So let's get into it. Here's something that you probably don't know. I'm a former fashion blogger. As a matter of fact, I have started my online journey this way, and I did that from 2012 to 2015. But you can't really find anything online about that because I did a really great job at removing all the content published. So the reason is that I did a huge work on my personal brand, and I prefer being associated with what I do today instead of what I used to do, obviously. And today I am part of the Dubai Fashion Design Council team, and I'm in charge of influencers marketing and relations and management, obviously. So I have been working with influencers for a few years now, and I'm going to demystify what you can do to work successfully with influencers to boost your marketing campaign in this very podcast. Let's start with some facts. So, first of all, in marketing, influencers marketing is very often called endorsement. That includes working with bloggers, influencers, etc. So not just celebrities. This used to be part of PR reach, and it will still be considered as such if money is not exchanged. However, now the majority of influencers will choose to be charged, obviously, for their work, and in this case it falls into the category of marketing. If you work with a PR agency, they will likely take care of this part for you. There are also influencers agencies that now are made just for that. They work the same way that you would, for example, book a professional model for a photo shoot. Those agencies work the same way. But it doesn't mean that all influencers work with agencies. What you need to know is that not all influencers are actually a good choice for you. I'm going to take big brands as an example, okay? They carefully select their influencers. In the world of fashion, for example, we'll call them égérie. This is a very French term. So brands make sure that they fit the product spirit, the brand image, the brand campaign and message, and obviously the target market. There are tons of examples of endorsements that got cancelled because the influencer behaviors. So this is because as a company, we spend so much time, effort, and money into building our brand's reputation that we only want to be associated with people with profiles that fit our brand mission, of course. So now let's talk about the why. Consumers trust recommendations from a third party more often than a brand itself. When you think about it, it just makes sense, right? So you won't necessarily or directly trust the message of a brand until a friend that you trust tells you it's worth buying from them. In this case, the influencer marketing, that influencers plays the role of the friend. For example, 4 out of 10 millennials YouTube subscribers say that their favorite creator understands them better than their circle of friends. So this is to tell you the value of influencer marketing and the weight that it has. So now How do you start working with influencers? Well, before anything, always make sure that you're using that in conjunction of a good marketing campaign that you will be driving, okay? So this feature of endorsement will only come to support and complete your campaign. This is how you will get your best return on investment over this marketing effort. So let's dive into the steps. The step number one is that you want to start researching your influencers. So as mentioned before, you can use an influencer's agency that will help you a lot in finding the right influencer. They will do the major part of the work, and obviously they'll charge you for that. Now, if you want to DIY this part or just understand how the process works, I will dive into that right now. So you want to start by searching influencers that are in your niche. You can use different social media platforms or just search in Google for a list of influencers that cover your industry. Now, how to select them? Regarding the size of their followership, it needs to be close to yours and up to a few thousands more. So basically, if you're only starting out in your business journey, it just won't make sense for big influencers to start working with you. They actually will refuse because you don't have enough social proof. And it works both ways. Influencers will also get picky as to who they work with because for them too, they are businesses. That's how you need to approach it and understand it. And obviously they care about their reputations too. So they will work with you only if it makes sense for them to do that in terms of size of your business, the influence of your business, and their followers' preferences, because they also need to go by that. What do their followers prefer and like? So this is how they will start actually taking the decision to work with you or not. So the next step is that you need to know what is the aim of working with them, right? So you need to know exactly what you want out of this collaboration. So is it just for brand awareness, or are you trying to drive sales throughout this collaboration, right? So make sure that you know exactly what is your aim in this matter. So make sure you're crystal clear on that before contacting them. So you will know what angle as to how to pitch them for the collaboration, for example. So that is also very important, and that will build up your confidence into choosing that right person, okay? Always draw a contract with them as to whatever you agree to work on with them, okay? The contract will be there to protect both of you, okay? That will include the number of posts that they will produce and the time of publishing and the length of publications, etc. All the details. Because basically, some influencers will only keep your sponsored posts on their feed or blogs for a certain time. So make sure you agree on all of those to avoid any surprises in the future. And regarding the sales part, for example, most of online influencers will ask for affiliate marketing earnings. So that is a really good thing for you, is that they will actually actively push for selling your own items. There again, it depends on what you agree with them. The usual rate is around 10% on earnings. So there you must have a system in place to track their sales numbers. And usually you give them a code that their followers will apply once they are ready to proceed with ordering from you. on the tech side, for example, if you do have a WordPress self-hosted website, there are plugins that will do that just for you and track the influencer sales performance for you too. I'm not really sure about Squarespace or Shopify, but if you don't have that option, in either case, you can use other websites, such as there's a website called Spreezy that is specialized in affiliate marketing, and I will leave the link in the description box just for you. Okay, now let's get into the next step, which is the step number 3, and it's about contacting them. So the best way to get in touch is to use their mail addresses. If it's stated on their profile, which is most likely to be there, please do not direct message them, because this is the best way to getting either no responses or just start the conversation by annoying them, because they already have communicated the best way to contact them for collaborations. And the next one is to follow up, because some influencers just have a lot of reach, okay, and they just struggle with keeping up with all their requests. So just follow up. It's not because you're not getting any response that it's a no. A simple follow up can do wonders. Now, what to ask from them? Well, first of all, there is an amazing free online tool that you can use from HubSpot website, and this will help you verify their Instagram metrics. Okay, so I will leave the link in the description box for you. But the point is that you need to ask for their metrics. Get a breakdown of their demographics, because you want to know if that fits your target market, and then ask for their press kits. That will give you an overview of all the platforms they serve, as well as their prices if you want to work with them. And as an extra bonus, ask for brand recommendations. So if they previously have worked with brands, that would be easy for them to provide for recommendations, but you also want to get recommendations, so you know that their level of professionalism is spot on for you. Okay, so that's an extra bonus step that you can follow. So the point again is to ask for their metrics, because you want to know if who is following them is your target market. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to work with them. Even if you like them, it just won't, obviously. So regarding the platforms, for example, now, okay, so the number one platform used for influencers marketing is definitely Instagram, with 92% of influencers in 2017 alone. So most of them would work on Instagram, but don't limit your coverage to this platform. My tip for you is to start searching into other platforms. For example, YouTube. YouTube is where brands invest the least on influencers, and it's also the second largest search engine. So as you know, Google and YouTube are the same company. So that means that in terms of influence and space of advertisement, you have very little competition. People are most likely to trust the influencer's review of your product. Like 70% of teenage YouTube subscribers say that they relate to YouTube content creators more than traditional celebrities. So this is like a golden mine for you to start investing in and working with influencers. And you can work across platforms, obviously. So you can start with this, work with the same influencer or different influencers during your campaign on different platforms at the same time, and that is just going to be reinforcing your marketing campaign. Now, one mention of the law: influencers are now obligated to mention if they are doing a paid sponsorship by using certain hashtags, for example, like hashtag ads, hashtag sponsored posts, etc. And while they can kind of get into trouble depending on where they live for not doing that, but they definitely will get exposed by other bloggers, which can harm their online reputations. So this is one quick note regarding the law of working with influencers. Now, when you work with them, the next step is that you want to repost their posts on your own feed to support the collaboration and show social proof in your own feed. So your followers also will see that you know that specific influencers, which is most likely to raise your credibility and make your brand looks really cool and trendy for the moment, right? So my advice for you here is to be 100% crystal clear and transparent about the collaboration. And if this work gets done in person, for example, if you have the chance to be in face-to-face with that person while you're doing the collaboration and taking the pictures and etc., please share the backstage of the collaboration. This is golden, you guys, golden. People love to see how you work, and even more if you give them a closer and more intimate access to someone who's high profile. There's nothing better in terms of creating a deeper connection and start a conversation with your and their followers. So this will create a better influence over your marketing campaign that will feel more genuine, and it's just going to be better and real rather than just an exchange of X amount of money for X amount of posts, right? So please share those snaps or whatever's happening when you're working with that person, and do, like, for example, maybe a live Q&A or something like that, something really personal, something really casual that is not just work related, but something where you actually show how fun it is to work with you, right? And how fun it is to work with that influencer, and that will raise both of your profiles up in terms of creating connections and the know, like, and trust factor for both of you. So it's a win-win situation here. And the last step into working with influencers is to track your results. So as mentioned before, you will need to track the results as to how successful this collaboration was, right? So usually you will include those numbers with your marketing campaign reports. So that's how you work with influencers, and this will get better as you work on this with practice. So please don't get discouraged if you don't get it in your first trial. Everything in this topic relies on researches, good researches, patience, and obviously your contract agreement with that influencers. There you go. This is it for today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it and have learned a lot from it today. In the next episode, I will be talking to you about experience marketing, what it is, and how you can use this specific type of marketing in your own e-commerce business. And I'm gonna be running a challenge very, very soon, and it's called the 5 Ways in 5 Days to Boost Your Sales Challenge. And I would love to see you taking part into this great challenge. So I will be adding the sign up link into the description, but it's bit.ly/5W5D. Again, my name is Soher, and it was an absolute pleasure to serve you today. Until the next time, have an amazing day.